This video is for my dad because he believes everything Fox News and Newsmax tells him. So I just wanted to put together a video about facts that are happening right now, things that have happened in the past that he might not have seen or heard about, and I'm hoping that this is proof for him that what is happening is much, much worse than what he thinks. The Democrats didn't shut down the government because they want immigrants to have free health care.
They want to give taxpayer-funded health care benefits to illegal aliens.
We won't agree to restore health care to illegal aliens.
The Democrats are demanding free health care for illegal aliens.
The Democrats, their whole argument is, we are going to shut down the government unless you give $1 trillion for medical benefits for illegal aliens.
No, it's not their argument, Beardo. It's not, no one's proposing that. That's not true, right, TV peoples?
That is not true. Illegal immigrants are not eligible for federal health care programs.
Undocumented immigrants cannot sign up for the Affordable Care Act coverage.
To be clear, this is not true. Undocumented immigrants are banned from federally funded health care programs.
Is it true that you want to restore American taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants?
Of course not. And thank you for asking that question, because this is also an outright lie. Federal law prohibits the use of taxpayer dollars to provide medical coverage to undocumented individuals. That's the law. And there is nothing in anything that we have proposed that is trying to change that law. We are fighting for the health care of the American people.
And this next video I'm about to show you, this affects me personally, your daughter. Next year, I'm not going to have health insurance. I literally can't afford health insurance next year. I'm already paying over $330 a month for health insurance. By next year, that's going to go up, but I don't know how many hundreds of more dollars that's going to be for me. There's a lot of things that could go wrong once you're 46 years old. I mean, I could get away with not having health insurance when I was younger, but when you're 46, I mean, that's a good age to have health insurance, because just for the big C word alone, you know, it ran in our family.
24 million people use Obamacare for their health care. Most of them, the vast majority, get these special tax credits, right? These tax credits that they're eligible for that help lower their premiums. Those credits are going to go away at the end of this year. They're supposed to expire at the end of this year. And that's the chart you're looking at. The end of this year, let's say somebody pays on average $888, it'll go up to $1,900 next year. Here's the other piece of this, and you've heard this a lot. You've heard this over and over again from Republicans. They say Democrats want to give free health care to undocumented immigrants. You heard the vice president say it right at the top of the show. A new ad out from Republicans today says basically that. Watch.
Democrats are grinding America to a halt in order to give illegal immigrants free health care.
Democrats say that is not at all true.
That is a bold-faced lie, and it really shows how desperate they are.
Do you know why Donald Trump orchestrated a government shutdown? It's so he could purge Democratic agencies. And he can't do it alone, so he's referring to a handbook. It's about 900 pages long, called Project 2025. And good thing for Trump, he doesn't actually have to sit down and read these 900 pages. The man who wrote Project 2025 is helping Donald Trump find Democratic agencies to cut from the budget. And it's all laid out right there in the plan, the 900-page handbook to help Trump decide what agencies to cut. And if you don't believe me, here's a video.
Meeting today with Russ Vought, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut, and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. I read that because I think it's important to hear and understand what is going through their minds right now. We know this is not normal. It is definitely not legal sounding at all.
I'm so glad the president put out the True Social this morning on Project 2025, the great project. He said the Project 2025 fame, Russ Vought, he's one of the architects. And we're going to get in some serious deconstruction of the administrative state, I think starting this afternoon with Russ Vought.
President Trump is going to use that as an opportunity not to tell people you're furloughed for a few days, but instead to send pink slips and to get rid of left-wing bureaucrats who are imposing left-wing priorities that are contrary to President Trump's priorities.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but we don't want fraud, waste, and abuse. And, we're cutting that. But they want to have illegal aliens come into our country and get massive health care at the cost to everybody else, and we don't have it. And that's I would say, the number one reason that they want to strike is to get illegal immigrants health care.
Dad, please believe me when I say Trump is a liar. He is a liar. Please believe me. Please listen to me. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. It's just driving me crazy. Russell Vought is the man who wrote Project 2025. And maybe you think now that Trump is endorsing Project 2025, maybe you think, well, it can't be that bad after all. I gotta tell you, you're wrong on that. It's much worse than you think it is. Project 2025 is so bad that Trump himself distanced himself from it, as you can see in this video.
Project 2025. I've never read it. I don't want to read it because that way I can be honest with you. I don't want to read it.
He also tweeted that he never heard of Project 2025. Project 2025 is so bad that he denied over and over again of not being a part of it. But Stephen Miller and Carolyn Levitt were both in the friggin' recruitment video for the Heritage Foundation. And he also admitted that he was all for the Heritage Foundation in this video.
This is a great group, and they're going to lay the groundwork and detail plans for exactly what our movement will do.
They're all lies, Dad. Trump lied to you. He lied to all of America. He was planning to implement Project 2025 from the very beginning.
Trump's comments represent a dramatic about-face after he and his campaign spent much of last year denouncing the massive proposed overhaul of the federal government.
You probably don't know anything about Project 2025 because you watch Fox News and Newsmax. To assemble an army of aligned, vetted, trained, and prepared conservatives to go to work on day one to deconstruct the administrative state. To give Trump supreme power so he can tear down the United States and rebuild it as a Christian nationalistic dictatorship.
Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
How will they accomplish this? By firing mass numbers of civil servants and replacing them with Trump loyalists. That way he can consolidate all his power. This would make the FBI and the Department of Justice directly accountable to President Trump. That way he could weaponize them. And by reinstating an executive order called Schedule F, he'll be able to fire any civil servant that he wants, simply because there wouldn't be anybody left to challenge him.
We will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin.
Whatever happened to the group of Republicans who wanted to impeach Trump? All of them either lost their re-election bids, opted to resign, or they retired. The remaining Republicans learned to fall in line or risk losing their positions. Once Trump gains supreme power, Project 2025 will tell you the next steps. Mass deportations, which are happening right now. They're arresting immigrants from all over the United States without an arrest warrant. They zip tie their children. They arrest first and question you later. All done without a warrant or a lawyer. You're not allowed to call a lawyer. They can hold a U.S. citizen as long as they want. A citizen who has no prior arrests or warrants. Page 60 calls for the reversal of civil rights. That includes to completely abolish abortion in all 50 states. They will also be monitoring all women under what they call abortion surveillance. And they want to make birth control illegal. They want to install a pro-life task force, which is just like ICE, only for abortions. And they want to strip all support for single mothers. And they're going to expand the death penalty for anyone involved with giving an abortion. In Alabama alone, there have been over 20 women so far that have been prosecuted for having miscarriages. For having miscarriages! Under these new laws that they want to put out, these women having miscarriages, guess what's going to happen? They're going to die. They're going to be sentenced to death. And I really wish I was lying to you, Dad, but this is happening. This is really happening right now. They already dismantled the Department of Education. They do, however, want to implement a voucher program so they can fund Christian schools and people who want to homeschool their children. They want to create an army of people who believe that the earth is flat and evolution is a hoax. They're not going to have science textbooks. They're just going to have the Bible. The Salem witch trials will happen again. Any state, city, counties, school boards, union bosses, principals, and teachers who disagree with this voucher proposal should be immediately cut off from federal funds. The rest of the handbook talks about rolling back Social Security, getting rid of Obamacare, which is already happening. They want to repeal the ACA, remove protections for those with pre-existing conditions, eliminate itemized receipts, reduce consumer protections, and cut back Medicaid, etc., etc. They plan to roll back environmental protections and roll back regulations for factories, so that way factories and corporations, they're able to literally poison wells and their factory workers and the air. Nobody's going to be there to stop them. And lastly, they want to take all your tax money that's supposed to go towards bettering your life and instead give it to all the billionaires and the corporations. No more education, social safety nets, and basic public programs. But they will have the largest nuclear bombs, enough to destroy the whole world 100 times over. Please, Dad, stop watching Newsmax and Fox News. There's a reason why those are the only two stations that support Trump, while all the others are against him. They systematically brainwashed you into believing that their agenda is good and the only one that should be enforced. I don't understand it because you taught me how to be this way. You taught me how to not believe everything I see and hear on TV. You taught me that just because someone is put in charge doesn't make them right. And when I was a little girl, I was pro-life, and you said no, because guess what? This can happen. So don't judge people. You taught me all this stuff, and now I'm who I am because of you. And I really can make like at least 100 more of these videos, and I think I will, because this doesn't even scratch the surface of anything. Okay, I'm gonna make you watch another one of these videos. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah!